Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Speaking of the daily Discord updates, yesterday we posted like a bunch of them. As you can see, I keep scrolling up there and there's more and more and more. So if you want to know what's going on in the market instantly, instead of just waiting for these videos, make sure to check out the memberships. You get a bunch of interesting stuff in here. Also, check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So right now, as I said yesterday, Cardano is getting a fourth wave move down. Now the fourth wave move down could be in because we did get to the 0.32 support level. If you zoom in, we did not quite touch it, but this is enough for a fourth wave. Now obviously we could go lower, and well, if we do go lower right now, the next target would be the 50% extension. I don't really want to see it drop that low, because dropping below the extension right here would turn the whole 1, 2, 3, 4 setup into a diagonal, and that's not gonna be too great. So what you need to hope for right now is that Cardano manages to stay above 74.5 cents, and well, that it manages to stay above this high right here. So we'll see if we get another low or if we bounce. If we do bounce, I have a fifth wave target for you, and that is the 1.414 extension of the third and fourth wave, and that is at 90.2 cents. That's the minimum extension, and obviously it could overextend to the 1.618 or even the 200% extension. So the target is this right here, somewhere between 90.2 cents and 95.5 cents. That's gonna complete this third wave right here, and that's the third wave of this 1-2 setup. And in case you are wondering, yes, it did get above the 1.618 extension of the 1-2 setup. I removed it from the chart because we don't need it anymore, but yes, it did get above that, which means that it's a valid third wave move. Now please do not forget what happens after the third wave move. We will need a fourth wave move down. Oh, but only after we get the fifth wave right here, of course. And I'm gonna give you a support zone for this. Now, don't expect it to be too, impulsive, because in the second wave right here, I believe we already got to the 0.618 support level, or was this actually the 50% extension? Let me actually see very, very fast because it's important. Yeah, I think we dropped to the 50% extension. So in the fourth wave move down, we'll most likely drop to the 0.32 or the 50% extension again. And in case you want to know where that would be, well, I could give you a target, but it's not going to be an accurate target, and I'm going to get rid of the support zone after this. But let's say we top it like 91 cents, the support zone would be between 78.8 cents and 71.5 cents. So yeah, don't expect the fourth wave move down to take too long, but do expect it to take maybe a day or so. And yeah, that's all you need to know about the short term. Now, you also need to know that we need a fifth wave up after that. So obviously the fourth wave down needs to hold support levels, because if it doesn't, we could obviously just invalidate the entire structure. Now, even if we turn this structure into a diagonal, and even if support gets broken and we drop below 72 cents, we still have a chance to bounce right here. And well, to invalidate the whole setup, we would have to break below this low, which is at 64.5 cents. I don't think we're going that lower, considering the fact that Bitcoin right now is doing something very interesting, and I'm going to talk about that soon. And yeah, Cardano right now, it's still going up, which is good. It's still above the bull market support band, by the way. And speaking of that, we're also pretty much above the 200-day moving average again, so this is good, and I'm expecting higher prices. But also, do not forget what will happen after we complete the fifth wave move up. This will complete the first wave of the third wave up here, which is the third wave of the main third waves. And usually after a first wave, well, not usually, always after a first wave move up, we go down into an ABC, and this is gonna be a pretty significant move, so I'm gonna give you a target for this as well. Now, obviously, it's not gonna be a good target, but if we take this low right here, and let's say we top at about $1.06 or so in the fifth wave, the support zone will most likely be something like this, so somewhere between 85.4 cents and 72.4 cents. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about that yet. But you have to keep in mind, after we get the fifth wave move up, I will also be able to confirm that the low right here is in. So even if we go down after that, it's not gonna matter, because I will already have a confirmation that the low is in. Now, obviously, what Cardano needs to do right now is break above the 0.618 resistance level of the previous all-time high. This is where we got rejected a bunch of times in the past, but I don't think it's gonna happen, right now. I don't think we're gonna get to that extension in the fifth wave right here. Now, maybe we will, but I'm not really a fan of that that idea. So we'll most likely get to like $1, then drop down, and then in the third wave of the third wave of the third wave, that's when we break above this, and that's when we break above the trend line on the chart. And that's it about the short term. Now I want to talk about Bitcoin, because what Bitcoin is doing is very, very interesting. And as you can see, the price did drop. We dropped from almost $106,000 all the way down to $101,000. And well, this is bullish, because if you look at the RSI, even though the price barely dropped anything, the RSI actually went from being very, very overbought up here to now being at an RSI of about 46. And well, from this point to this point, we only went down like $4,000, which is not really a lot. And I mean, this usually means that Bitcoin is about to start going up again. And this always happened right here, I believe, when Bitcoin was getting to all-time highs. We always, had major corrections on the RSI, but the price was not really doing anything. Let me actually look for an example. So this right here would be a good example. I mean, as you can see, we dropped from 99K to about 90K. Yes, this was a 10K drop, but if you zoom out, it's not going to, look like anything. But on the RSI, we went from overbought to oversold almost. So yeah, it's pretty much something like we had over here, and I think we'll get to all-time highs very, very soon. I would not be surprised if we broke all-time highs next week, to be honest, because I'm still expecting Bitcoin to hit at least $126,000 in the next couple of weeks to complete the fifth wave of the main third wave. Now, keep in mind, this is the minimum target, meaning that we could overextend to the next extension or even the 200% extension. So I think Bitcoin by the end of the second week of June will be in this region between $126,000 and $157,000. And then we still get the summer drop, which will be the fourth wave move down. That's going to put us back to $100,000, I think. And then after that, in the fifth wave move up, I will give you a fifth wave target as well, but only after we get the fourth wave down. And in the fifth wave move up, I'm expecting Bitcoin to still top at about $250,000 by the end of the year. That has always been my prediction. Now, I also want to talk about the S&P 500. What it's doing is also important. It got above the bull market support band, and I told you a couple of weeks ago, if it gets to the bull market support band and it gets rejected, that could be a sign that a bear market has started. However, that was not the case. We got above the 200-day moving average and the bull market support band, so I think we are still in a bull market, and I think this is going to break all-time highs. Now, why is that relevant? Because whenever the S&P goes up, that's when Bitcoin goes up as well. So if it keeps going up, it's going to be good, obviously. Now, I also want to talk about Ethereum for a second, and I can finally give you a target for the fifth wave right here. I talked about this on the Discord server, but basically, I mean, after we started the cycle, after getting the bear market low right here, we formed a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup. This was the fourth wave move down. I was telling you this back here when, Ethereum looked like it was dead, but I told you it's not, because usually after a move like this, it bounces like it did, for example, over here and even over here in the previous cycle, well, actually 2 cycles ago. So yeah, we did bounce, and right now we're above the bull market support band, and by the looks of it, we're working on the fifth wave right here. The minimum target for that is the 1.414 extension of the third wave and the fourth wave down, and that is at $6,400. Now, keep in mind that is the bare minimum, and I honestly, I think we could overextend to the 1.618, probably not the 200% expansion, but somewhere in this region. I mean, this is gonna be a good zone to top into, in my opinion, and then after that, we'll most likely have another bear market like we get every single cycle. And I mean, people keep asking me how it would be possible for Cardano to get to like $8. Well, if Ethereum goes up from like $2,500 where it's at right now to, let's say, $7,000, I mean, Cardano will obviously at least be able to go up like 5x from where it's at right now. And right now it's at like, I think about 80 cents. Yeah, 80 cents. So, I mean, 5x, it's still gonna break above the previous all-time highs, no matter what happens. So, even if Cardano does extremely bad in this cycle, it's still expected to at least get to like $3 or $4 in the worst case scenario, in my opinion. Now, in the best case scenario, Cardano still breaks, its all-time highs, and then it gets to $5.30 in the main third wave, which should be very, very soon. And then the fifth wave move up should put us above $8 if everything goes well. Now, please do not count on that, and always make sure to take profits, because you never know what happens, and you never know. I mean, we could always get something that just ends the cycle, and yeah, please be careful. Now, I also want to talk about the bull market support band on the Bitcoin chart. We're about to have a cross in a couple of weeks, or maybe even a couple of days, and the same thing could be said about Cardano, as you can see, I mean, the green line is getting closer to the red line, and this is good. And yeah, that's all into about this. I mean, we are still waiting for a cross. Also on the weekly chart, if you look at what Cardano is doing, it's currently testing the moving average. It might not seem like it, but I told you that after we get above it, we will most likely have some type of correction that, I mean, will get, you know, maybe to the moving average or near the moving average. And by the looks of it, we are doing just that right now. Now, I still believe that next week will be a good week. So this week could just be, you know, a boring week until we actually close a red wick over here. And then in the next week, we should complete the fifth wave, and then we should get a, you know, an ABC down. And well, I mean, we have like a month left until we supposedly should start the summer drop on the Bitcoin chart. So are we gonna have enough time? I have no idea. And also, please remember, I mean, the second week of June is only based on what happened in 2017. So it could even be the third week of June or the fourth week of June, even the first week of July. I don't know when the summer drop will happen. I mean, I'm just speculating on what happened in the previous cycles. I don't know if the market will start dropping in the summer. I don't even know if the market will drop in the summer, so it's really hard to say right now, especially with the altcoins being extremely ready to get to all-time highs. And I mean, yeah, the setup is pretty much the exact same as the previous cycle, and Bitcoin dominance is ready to start breaking down. As you can see, we are getting a second, weekly wick in a row, a second red weekly wick in a row, so this is good. We are getting closer to the bull market support band. We also got below the moving average on the RSI on the weekly, so this is a good sign, but it's obviously not enough to confirm that the altcoin season has started, so please be careful. And that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Check out the third wave of the third wave merchandise, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.